very happy to see all of you here. The theme for this year's event is let us push boundaries. The idea here is for us to go beyond the normal, beyond the routine, and to test the limits of our thoughts and action. But before I get into the details of the event, I take this opportunity to update you on Cafe Mutual. As many of you may know, Cafe Mutual runs 4 verticals. Our first vertical is media. CafeMutual.com gives news, knowledge, and insights to mutual fund distributors and professionals such as you here. With an average daily visitor count of 2,500 to 3,000, we are the #1 site in Asia by far. Our second vertical is research and consulting. And I'm happy to share with you that we are getting ready with the contours of our next IFA study. These studies provide a lot of invaluable insights to mutual fund houses who in turn perhaps use this research to devise strategies to make their distributor force more productive. Our third vertical is learning and development. Our investor awareness and distributor training activities are carried out under this vertical. Friends, as we all know, investor awareness has been something which has been occupying the minds of industry people for quite some time. In order to raise the quality of thinking, in order to formulate a sharper and more effective communication strategy, we are carrying out a big research. We are conducting research into investor psyche over 4 cities. We're covering different segments, and the study is in its final stages. And this study, we hope, will give you definitive insights into what are the financial habits of the Indian investor, what are the preferences of the Indian investor, what are the prejudices of the Indian investor, his attitude, his preferences, everything. So the study is in its final stage, and I hope to share the findings with you in perhaps a month's time. Our last vertical is events. So Cafe Mutual Confluence is a part of such vertical. We did something called CIFA earlier this year. CIFA is an event which is meant for IFAs. The focus there is more on actionable learning. It has been 4 years since we launched the business, and to give a sharper visibility to the businesses that we run, we have reworked the logo. So can I have so I'd like to unveil our new look logo at this event amongst you. Can I have the logo? So friends, this is the new logo of Cafe Mutual. And coming back to the event, we have 9 interesting sessions. We have 31 experts. All the events have been designed to give you new insights. All the sessions have been designed to give you new insights. So I urge you to stay back till the very end and make the most of this event. I've just been told that there have been over 500 registrations for the event. So this is a good opportunity for you to meet your old friends and make a few new ones. So be here, learn, network, get inspired. So have a fantastic day. Now I'll call upon our MC, Pasha, to come and take over. She'll be your host for the rest of the day.
Thank you, Prem. Hello, friends. A very, very good morning and a very hearty welcome to all of you all to our Cafe Mutual Conference 2014. I, Pasha Rahman, will be your host for today and hope that we not only amass a great deal of priceless knowledge from all our expert speakers, but also enjoy this day to the fullest. Before I begin the day, I would like to take a very small moment to thank all the partners. Our presenting partner, DSP BlackRock, Platinum partner, SBI and Sundaram, Gold partner, Axis, Birla Sun Life and Reliance, and our other partners, Canara Rebecca, CAMS, NJ, Value Research, and Mint. Without further ado, may I please invite one of India's best regarded investment experts, S. Nagnath. He is also the President and CIO DSP BlackRock Mutual Fund. He will share his thoughts on the state of the markets. Friends, can we please have a huge round of applause and mark the beginning of the day?
Morning. Thank you for that kind introduction. Very good to see all of you. I'll take no more than 10 minutes. I think the idea is to give you a good, quick overview of where we see markets this year, perhaps also nearer term, the next 2-3 years, and then a quick commentary or observations on how we see our mutual fund industry evolve over the next 2 or 3 years. So very quickly, the market views that I will now outline for you that we hold are no different from what we had or held in May of this year. The view then, which is still the view that we hold and maintain, is that the economy is bottomed out. GDP growth rate of 4.8% for fiscal 14 was the bottom in terms of GDP growth rate. We now see GDP growth rate improving. Indeed, in the June 2014 quarter, we've seen GDP growth rate at about 5.7%. For the full year, we expect it to come in around 5.7 to 5.8%. But the big improvement in GDP growth rate will come, in our opinion, in fiscal 16 and fiscal 17, which is April 15 to March 16 and April 16 to March 17, when we expect the rate of growth to improve to about 7%. And we think that this improvement in growth will come because of the revival of the investment cycle, not necessarily because of a lot of new greenfield projects, but more importantly because a lot of projects which are half complete will get concluded, will become operational, and will contribute to GDP. Then thereafter we will see, of course, greenfield projects coming up perhaps 2 years down the road, but more importantly, if these half-completed projects are finished and generate cash flow, I think that will be a big boost to overall GDP. Concurrent with a 7% GDP growth rate, we think corporate earnings will improve from the current 14-15% growth to about 20% in fiscal 16 and fiscal 17. So if we do the simple arithmetic around this, the question then arises, what kind of PE multiple are you willing to confer or accord to a market that is seeing improvement in growth and, more importantly, a much more significant improvement in corporate earnings growth, which used to be 11-12% last year for the big companies, will probably move up to about 14-15% this year, and then 20% next year, and then 20% the year thereafter, which is our view. Now, the Indian market traditionally has moved between 10p and 20p. Some years it has exceeded 20, in some years it has gone below 10, like at the time of the global financial crisis. Now, PE multiple is something that investors, accord to stocks or to markets, depending upon their perspective of how growth is shaping up. Once you have a steady state improvement in growth, and that trajectory is reasonably steady state and improving, I think investors have no problem, according a higher PE multiple to the market or to an individual company. And so it is with India. We think that as we get to that 7% rate of growth, as corporate earnings improve, we think it is not unrealistic to expect the market PE multiple to move from the 14, 15, 16 PE range to something that is closer to 20 PE or so. So if you put all this together, we think there is a reasonably high probability, in our opinion, that the Sensex could well be somewhere in the range of 45 to 50,000 in 3 years' time. So that's the first point I want to make. Foreign institutional investor interest in India continues to remain very, very strong, and we do think that on average we will get to see something like 20 billion or so in terms of net new money come in every year. We've seen a lot of interest in India's fixed income market as well, so that also will see a lot of flows. The second point we'd like to make is that within the BRICS countries, there is considerable interest in India as an economy that is likely to show relatively high rate of growth, has a large stock market, more importantly a lot of choice in terms of sectors, in terms of market cap. We've got a lot of mid-cap companies that are interesting, small-cap companies, and of course large-cap companies. So investors like a market that is one which has a choice in terms of sectors and stocks. So this is sort of the broad view on the equity markets. A quick word on fixed income. A lot of people expect interest rates to decline in the near term, and they in fact expect a significant decline in rates. I am not of that view. I think any rate cut, in my opinion, will likely come only in the first quarter of next year. More likely in the second quarter, perhaps could come in the first quarter. Now, inflation is still an issue, and consumer price inflation is hovering around the 8% mark, a little below that. We think it will settle down somewhere in the 7% range next year. It may not come off very quickly down to 6% or so, but say between now and the end of 2015, we think inflation will get down to that 7% mark. That, in our opinion, will possibly result in a rate cut of maybe 50 to 75 basis points next year. We don't expect any rate cut this year. To those who expect a very significant decline in rates, akin to perhaps what we saw in 2002, 3, 4, I don't think that scenario will arise. You cannot have a decline in rates at a time when you expect the economy to accelerate in terms of growth momentum significantly. Indeed, if you look at the developed markets, as and when you have expectations of higher growth, the expectation is one where rates are expected to rise. Demand for credit will be higher. And even though we will have a lot more flows into our markets, both equity and fixed income, the fact is that accelerating economic activity means more demand for credit. So on balance, my view is a rate cut comes sometime early next year. In aggregate, perhaps not more than 0.5 to 0.75% through all of 2015, possibly the first half of 2016 in our opinion. Now let's turn to the outlook for the industry. The industry today is about 10 lakh crore, approximately 2.5 lakh crore in equity, the rest in fixed income. The fixed income pie is not very clear to me.